the governor to...
On Wednesday, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo called for a safety review of the Indian Point Energy Center, 61 kilometers north of New York City on the Hudson River, where 2 reactors, Indian Point 2 and 3, have operated since the mid-1970s. The governor acted after the Federal Nuclear Regulatory Commission, or NRC, this week listed Indian Point 3 as the most riskily-sited nuclear plant in the country, and one of many that may need additional strengthening against earthquakes. Attorney Philip Musigas is Hudson River Program Director for the environmental group Riverkeeper, which is also suing the NRC to close Indian Point.
We have a litany of concerns about this plant. It has oil spills, it literally has explosions, it has frequent unplanned shutdowns, it has the radioactive water leaks, it causes impacts on the Hudson River fish species from the cooling water intake.
Earthquakes are another concern. The Indian Point plant was built above an inactive earthquake fault, the Ramapo Fault. Indian Point's owner, the Entergy Corporation, says the facility was built to withstand an earthquake up to magnitude 6.1 on the Richter scale. However, a 2008 study by Columbia University earthquake scientists reported that the area is more vulnerable to larger earthquakes, measuring 6.1 or even 7 than previously believed. Columbia University professor Won-Young Kim is one of the authors of the study. He said it estimated that an earthquake as powerful as 6 on the Richter scale is likely to happen in the area only once every 670 years.
In case of magnitude 6, you can expect some damage, not reactor building, but the peripheral supporting buildings, like in this case in Japan.
However, Jim Steitz, the spokesman for Entergy, says that the company did a new safety study following the Columbia report.
And the NRC has also done that and has decided that, Indian Point is safe, that the requirements that were put in place years ago that would enable us protections against a range of earthquakes are still valid today in terms of that capability.
The direct cause of Japan's nuclear disaster was not the earthquake or tsunami, but the sustained loss of electrical power to pump the water needed to cool the fuel, Riverkeeper's Philip Musigas observes. He says Indian Point is vulnerable to both weather emergencies and terrorist attack, and that the spent fuel pools are particularly dangerous.
If those catch on fire, you have a massive release of radiation. Because they are not in a containment building. They are in basically a cinder block industrial building with a metal roof. And so this is a very, very big risk.
But Entergy's Jim Steitz says that the fuel pools are well protected and that Indian Point has multiple backup electrical systems that would keep it running even through hurricanes. Last October, nuclear industry expert Paul Blanche petitioned the NRC to investigate the safety of 2 large, highly pressurized natural gas lines that run within 150 meters of critical Indian Point structures. A rupture from corrosion, sabotage, or even a small earthquake could cause a huge natural gas explosion, Blanche predicted, with a force equivalent to 15,000 tons of TNT. He said such an explosion would likely damage or destroy many systems, possibly leading to what he termed a significant release of radioactivity. The NRC says it is reviewing Blanche's petition. The agency is expected to rule within a year or so on relicensing Indian Point's 2 plants for 20 more years before their current licenses expire in 2013 and 2015. Carolyn Weaver, VOA News, New York.